Before I teach today's topic, I want to tell you that distraction is very dangerous and it can hurt your physical body, your spirit, and your soul. To- Today's topic is spiritual distraction. Distraction means a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. And that means that children in your schools, when the teacher is trying to teach something, you have to listen to what the teacher has to say because on the day of the test, you won't know what to do because you are focused on something else. And also, for adults, you have to listen to what your boss says to you at work, and when you're driving, you have to pay attention to the road because you might crash into a car. Now, open your Bible to Luke chapter 10, verse 38 to 42. Luke chapter 10, verse 38 to 42.
Now as they entered, now as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching.
Sister, hold on. You see that it says that there was this person named Mary who sat at the Lord's feet, and that's an example of somebody being focused. Continue.
But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she went up to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me.
Sister, hold on. You see that what Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She was only thinking about the flesh. When the spirit is more important than the flesh. She wanted to get. She was inside the kitchen. She was probably making cake, pizza, bitter leaf soup and sermon, but instead she was supposed to be listening to what Jesus has to say.
But the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things. But one thing is necessary, Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her.
You see that it also explains that Mary has chosen the right thing. But inside the book, Martha didn't show that she had a piece of respect for Jesus because she said, Lord, don't you care? And that means that she doesn't have any respect for Jesus. And I pray that you guys will choose the right path to your blessing in Jesus' name. The next question we'll be reading will talking about God will make a way for us when we are tempted. Now open your Bible to 1 Corinthians 10 to 13. Chapter 10, verse 13.
But we will not boast of things with our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which God hath distributed.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13.
No temptation has overtaken you. That is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way to escape, that you may be able to endure it.
In that Bible question, you see it explains that we can escape when we are tempted by reading the Bible, prayer, and fasting and focusing on God. The next portion we'll talk about there must be a set time and place for prayers. Now open your Bible to Mark chapter 1, verse 35.
Mark 1:35.
And arise very early in the morning, while it is still dark. He departed and went out to a desolate place, and there he prayed.
You see that if you want to solve your own private problem, you have to have a time to focus on God so God can solve your problem because God will always make a way for you. The next portion we'll talk about do not be distracted by the worries of life. Now open your Bible to Matt chapter 6, verses 31 to 33.
6:31.
Matt chapter 1, verses 31 to 33. Matt chapter 6, verses 31 to 33.
And he said to them, Come away by yourselves to desolate place and rest a while. For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. And they went away in the boat to a desolate place by themselves. Now many saw them going and recognized them, and they ran there on foot from all towns and got there ahead of them. When he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and began to teach them many things.
In that Bible portion, it explains that you shouldn't be distracted by the worries of life because you see, some people in this world, they worry about phone, house, food, or what they're going to eat, and that's not that important because God is the door to heaven, and if you give your life to God or focus on God, He will open that door for you. And I pray that this church will go through the door of heaven in Jesus' name. The next portion we'll be reading will God wants us to give undivided attention to Him or undivided devotion. Now open your Bible to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 35. First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 35.
I say, this for your own benefit, not to lay and restrain upon you, but to prompto good order and to secure your undivided devotion to the Lord.
In that Bible portion, it explains that you should give undivided attention to the Lord because when we read about Martha, she was too worried about food instead of thinking about what Jesus was trying to tell her. The next thing we'll be talking about is causes of distraction. Number 1, Satan is another agent of distraction. Now open your Bible to 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. It says, Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. In that portion, it explains that the devil is like a roaring lion waiting for someone to play with their mind or push them around because in schools, some people might ask you to join them with mocking the teacher or disrespecting them. And it talks about the device is a lion looking for a person to push around, confuse, or distract through lust and on other material things. The next thing we'll be talking about is how to avoid distraction by going to a quiet place. And it says that in Mark chapter 6, verse 31.
And he said to them, come away by yourselves to this Lotto place and rest a while, for many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat.
In that Bible question, it talks about one of the points that you can use to avoid distraction by going to different places to pray, by going to the mountain, a quiet place in your home. Number two, clothe yourselves with full armor of God. And you can read that from Ephesians 6, verse 11. And it says, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And in that question, it talks about, and the word willies can also mean schemes. A scheme of the devil is when the devil is trying to play around with your mind. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
And when he's trying to play around with your mind, and that means that if you wear the full armor of God and give your life to God, you can take your stand against the devil, and he will start to run away from you. And number 3 is always think about God in all your ways. Now open your Bible to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6.
In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will straighten your path.
In the Bible portion, it explains that if you give your life to God, He will guide you to your destiny. Number 4, we should keep away from idols, and this is for children. Now open your Bible to 1 John chapter 5, verse 21. And it says, little children, guard yourselves from idols. An idol is when you're worshiping another god that is evil. Like Martha was trying to prepare food for Jesus when she had to prepare because Jesus came with his 12 disciples, so she was thinking about preparing food for 13 people instead of listening to what Jesus has to say. Number 5, resist the devil and he will flee. And you can read that from James chapter 4, verse 7. And it says, therefore, submit to God, but